Hey folks, Dan Frio here with your closing bell for August 29th, 2024. So we saw mortgage rates go up just a little bit today. Nothing to really write home about because the economic reports that came in today were basically, they were right in line. I'll say it that. Everything was basically right in line to what was expected, and the markets are just flat. If you go over to the main indices on the equity markets, we have the Dow Jones up. It was up 300 points, giving that back a little bit, but still up over 200 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are basically just flat. So one report that came in, I don't know if you saw it this morning, NVIDIA's earnings came in and they just blew out their earnings. Look at it. NVIDIA, 122% revenue growth in the most recent quarter. Was its slowest pace in a year. So they're blowing away the numbers, and the 122% growth rate just wasn't enough for investors to continue to push that price even higher. So their stock price is easing a little bit. I'm still a buyer of this thing, but don't buy on my recommendations. It's just me. I just kind of tell you guys as I go along things that I'm interested in. NVIDIA is the revolutionary piece of the AI equation because their chip just beats everybody out there. So if you want to take a deep dive into it, take a deep dive into it. It's a fantastic company. So let's get over to the news that we're seeing right through here. There was one piece of information that came in today. It was in regards to pending home sales. It set a record. Well, not a good one. It actually was the worst number in history that's been being recorded. It shows right through here. It's bad out there in the market. There's just no homes for sale. And that's what's actually helping the house prices not to go down or crash like many people have been expecting for the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years. Okay, so here's an interesting article. Housing Wire came out and it said, 8 states now have unsold inventory that's more than 2029. So let's look into the data that they're providing. So it says right through here, 8 states with unsold inventory greater than 2019. Now our old friend right here, Mike, over at Altos Research, this is why we have him on our channel, folks, because a lot of people use his data. We just had him on a live event just last week. Here he is. Here's Mike from Altos. Check out that video. I'll put it right up there if you want to check it out. He also said there's not going to be a crash, unfortunately. But if you go down through this article, and I'll post it down below, it's telling you the states that have too much inventory and just not enough inventory. And you can see right through here. So areas like Texas that have 18% too much inventory, well, they're going to see their prices come down. Okay, that's just how prices work. If you have too much of something, the prices go down. But look at the rest of the country. We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states out of 50 states out there that have excess inventory, but a lot of places, especially up through here, the northeastern, in the Midwest. Look here in Chicago or the Illinois area, we have 73% less homes. So I have houses going up in my market, and they sell without even hitting the market. And then you have places in Florida that just sitting and sitting and sitting. That's why you can't just use a paintbrush and say, oh, the whole economy's crashing, and housing's going to crash and everything else because housing prices went up so much. Guys, there's not enough inventory. And here's this. This is based on 2019 homes for sale. So how many homes were for sale at that point versus today? And it's a huge difference in most of the states. So most of these states, that's why you're not seeing prices crash. You're only seeing prices basically come down in these select areas right through there. So that's good news if you're out there looking to buy not in these areas, but if you're looking to buy in these areas, you might see some price deterioration there. A lot of these other areas, we are also seeing competitive bids, multiple bids, and people getting outbid still. Okay, so that's what we have right now. That is basically my report for today. Tomorrow's economic calendar, it's going to look a little bit like this. Let's go over to here. We'll get rid of this. The MBS market right now is down 9 ticks. That means mortgage rates are going to tick up just a little bit, and those have already been factored in right over there, folks. So that is the closing bell on the rates right now that we have. But the economic news for tomorrow is right through here. You're going to see right over here, the core PCE. This is the number one inflationary tool that the Federal Reserve puts the most weight in. It's coming in before the bell. You can see that right through there. The Chicago PMI and consumer sentiment. That really, none of this really else will kind of play a role in that. But that's what you're going to see tomorrow. But the star right here, the core PCE, that will be the market mover. So hopefully it comes in line. They're saying previously it was 0.2. Analysts are expecting it to come in at 0.2. I hope it comes in at 0.2 or 0.1, because if it comes in at 0.3, 4, 5, or 6, the markets are going to spin around and not look so good for a good holiday weekend. So that's my report for today, folks. I will be back tomorrow. If you want to check out and find out what I do, who do I do, how do I do, what am I? I'm actually a mortgage loan officer, folks. So if you're out there trying to buy your first house, maybe buy your first investment property, or maybe even just looking to refinance, I'd love to help you. I'm licensed in all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico, so I can help you no matter where you are. You can visit me at therateupdate.com if you want to check in. If you're buying your first house, I urge you, check out the grant finder right through there. It's going to find you grants that are nationally and also grants in the Chicagoland area where our bank is located. And then the apply now button, you could click that if you want to get the process started for that application, maybe to get pre-approved or refinance. Or if you're like, hey, I got questions, well, ask them. You're going to ask them right down through here. You can give us a call or shoot me an email. It's the 800 number is 844-775-5626, or you can shoot me an email at dan@therateupdate.com. And yes, it will be me answering, and yes, I will answer. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so over there. We hit 30,000 subscribers. We're now this close to 31,000. So help me out and get there, and I encourage you to do so. So thank you so much, guys. Have a fantastic evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.